Hey, Shalom, all praises, honor, glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Recha, Kwadash. Double honor to the apostles, elder bishops of the Great Millstone, who rule well. Peace and blessings to you fellow brothers pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. Shabbat Chanak, coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Recha, Kwadash. All right, this is going to be a walk and talk lesson. I pray the lesson is edifying. Okay, and this is going into digital IDs, biometrics, verification to get online. Now, this is all inspired off of, let me see if I have this, I have the article. Yeah. You know, as I was online, I seen this basically this is from DW.com. Indian teens roll their eyes at talk of social media ban. Okay. India has joined the growing list of countries considering a social media ban for children under 16. Young Indians are not happy and are already plotting workarounds. So I remember when they first start, there was particular countries that started to talk about banning social media for minors. And they spoke about how protecting the children and stopping them from viewing harmful information and adult content, so on and so forth, right? They want to protect the children. Now, we know that Esau Edom doesn't give two shits about the children. So I'm like, there has to be something deeper than, a country banning social media for, a group under 16. Now, in a lot of these countries, the age of consent is 16 and under. So why are they calling them children, right? So it's deeper than that. So I saw this, so I was like, let me dig into it a little bit. Okay, because this has been going on for like the past year. There's a list of countries that are banning social media for individuals under a particular age, 16, 14, 13, whatever age, right? So I started going in deeper, and basically this is nothing other than a Trojan horse, which I spoke about this before when it started happening in one of my videos. I wouldn't be able to find it. This is nothing other than a Trojan horse, okay, to bring in biometric identification, verification to get online. Okay, so basically, how do we know if you're a child or not? Well, you have to upload a particular ID, okay, or in certain cases, biometrics, right? So as I was strolling through this article, I was just kind of like trying to, get to the point. Okay, let me like kind of jump around in this article, but then I Googled it as well, and it got some AI overview, and we'll just kind of go from there. Before I do that, let me open up in 2 Corinthians 2, because when certain things happen, our spiritual antennas, our spiritual spidey senses, they go off. We say, what's going on? Why is Esau doing this? Why does it look like he's trying to protect the children? It's not, he's not trying to protect the children. He's setting a precedent, okay, for biometric identification. Bio meaning life, metric meaning measure. So whether that's an eye scan, a fingerprint scan, okay, and ultimately your chip, which is going to have a unique identification. Like your ID has your ID number with particular state, where the chip that they're going to administer to people is going to have a unique ID. Just like your Bitcoin wallet, right? Just like any documentation, your birth certificate, your social security number, there's a set of numbers that are unique to you. Just like your fingerprint. Your fingerprint is unique to you. All right, that's your biometric. Okay. Your ID is unique to you. Okay. So let me get this. All right, we already know how this is setting a precedent for a system of tracking and tracing everything. Okay, this man, he wants to be as the Most High. He believes he's the Most High. And he wants that God-like power to know where everybody is at and to stop people from doing things that he doesn't want you to do. Okay. I'm gonna read this in the CSB. 2 Corinthians 2:11. So that we may not be taken advantage of by Satan. For we are not ignorant of his schemes. Okay, and this is nothing other than a scheme, because why simultaneously are all these other countries that seem to be fighting each other and don't like each other, why are they picking up the same policies? Okay, why are all these countries, why are they moving towards digital IDs? Why are they moving towards digital currencies? Why are they moving towards more of a biometric type system? Okay, because they're all in bed with each other. Okay, and the wicked elite from on top got all these nations, okay, moving to their song. Okay, they pay them off. They put particular leaders in there. All right, they have what's it called? They breed them. They breed these leaders. They train them up. Okay, the young global leaders. I think that's what it's called with the World Economic Forum. Putin's part of that. Okay, and then they have blackmail on them, like the Prime Minister of India, Modi. He was on the island. So now you see why all these policies, if you're watching, only if you're watching. Now, if you're watching NBA and the Super Bowl and all that, of course you're not going to see these things. Okay, if your head is stuck up the ass of social media and the folly on there, you're not going to see these things. Okay, but if you're occupied in prophecy, all right, then you're going to see these things, and the Most High opens up your mind. But all these nations, they're really in bed with each other. Okay. So I'm in this article. If I remember, I'll put it in the description box or whatever, or the comment board, or you can just Google it. The information is readily available. Okay. So let me just start from here. From the top, I'm gonna read a little bit and then I'm gonna jump around and try to find that point that I was looking for. Arva Gupta, 15, a student in Delhi, was scrolling through Instagram when he saw a new alert about the Indian government's plan to consider age-based access to social media platform. And you have to ask yourself, how are they going to actually be able to implement this, okay, and employ this, that they can stop individuals at a particular age from getting online. Okay, how can this even be possible? All my friends plan everything on social media, from birthday parties to football games and even study sessions. This is unfeasible, Gupta later told DW. In the new generation, they're addicted to social media. Like, that's their whole life. They have a digital life. They'll come outside and stuff, so on and so forth for certain times and do certain things, but it's all social media based. I don't have to tell you that. You see it all the time. Hey, certain Jakes is addicted to social media. We're on social media a lot. Okay, mainly for the purpose of pushing a word, getting content. But even us, we scroll and we do certain things, but there has to be a balance, right? It says, anyway, it is hard to implement without mandatory legal IDs for every login. See, it's hard to implement this without mandatory legal IDs for every login, he added. And if it happens, we can easily bypass bans using virtual private networks, VPNs, or fake birthdays. See? So you can just type in a fake birthday. You can just use a VPN. So how does a government tackle this problem where there's just a quick workaround? Well, they'll just set the precedent that everybody, no matter what country you're in, you have to log in and put in your biometrics. Okay, that's where we're going to. Okay, when the new internet, all right, and they're setting the stage for it now. The new internet is going to be based upon you. You want to go on a particular website, or even your actual internet carrier. They'll go to that level where to even get on the internet, you have to put in your biometric. You might have to put in your finger scan or your iris scan, or ultimately put in your chip information. Do the scan on the RFID. Okay. Let me read that again. Anyway, it is hard to implement without mandatory legal IDs for everyone, every login, he added. And if it happens, we can easily bypass bans using virtual private networks, VPNs, or fake birthdays, right? If Bishop is Bo Paul is an Elamite name. 14-year-old Pira Kular can't imagine life without social media. Right, because these people are addicted to it. So any measure that the government mandates is going to go right along. The people are going to go right along with it because they're addicted to it. See, Esau, he allowed it to be open and free. Then he can come in later and regulate it and mandate, that you do particular things that, that you may, be able to use his technology. I get most of my information here and keep up with trends in fashion and music. It is hard to imagine a law banning platforms like Instagram and YouTube Shorts for anyone under 16, Kular told DW. And DW is sponsored by the German government. It's a German government publication. Okay. So basically, they got everybody hooked on to social media. Now they're coming in, putting in the restrictions. But how can they actually mandate something like this, okay, cross country lines, international lines? Well, if every nation adopted a biometric ID identification system, then it can work perfectly, right? So that's what's going on. Okay, Esau's not doing it because he cares for the children. The children are cooked. This is the new generation in which that's going to take the CHIP. Okay, what is it? Generation X or whatever the hell it's called. Okay, bear with me. I'm just sipping on some tea. Okay. Now, I'm going to jump down. I'm going to jump down and get that point when they talk about the biometrics. Let me see. Bear with me. And there's all excuses, cyberbullying, bullying, and pornographic content, and all type of crazy stuff that they say. The excuse is why they need to put in these bans, right? But we're not gonna read none of that. We don't need none of that. All right, I'm just trying to find. Okay, let me see. Right, let me read some of this right here. It says, if it's self-declared, all right, kids will bypass it. If it's ID-based, it raises privacy and surveillance concerns. And yeah, it does raise privacy and surveillance concerns because that gives the government, all right, all your information to track and trace you. All right, but that's not going to stop them. Okay, they'll just bring in more chaos, all right, to justify the control. They'll just set up a false flag to justify all these governments rolling it out. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you have a VPN or not. Every country is going to adopt this system, just like every country is going to adopt the MOTB system. So you see how everything is perfectly fitting together. All right, the elites are working through all the world governments. All these world governments are in the back pocket of the elites, and they're rolling out these technologies that when they go to the World Economic Forum, they speak about these things, and they have leaders that are going to play ball. All right, and if a leader doesn't want to play ball, what do? They overthrow him, and then they put in somebody else that's going to play ball. Okay, that's how it goes. I mean, I think it should be pretty clear in 2026, but you still got a lot of people that are asleep. Okay. It says, he said, adding that implementation through schools or networks would be blunt and overly broad. India also has a 43% VPN adoption rate. It says the second highest in the world, making enforcement even tougher, right? Because basically a VPN sets it up to where you can mask your IP address. Like say you're in America or say you're in China, you can't, well, I know Russia, as of like today, I just heard the news, they banned, I think like YouTube or a couple, like YouTube or Google or something like that, Instagram, particular platforms, China have done it. But if you have a VPN, you can just say, hey, you're in America, and you can adopt a temporary IP address. So then now you can use that internet because your IP address is able to work on those machines. Okay, it says even with platform enforcement, teens will get around it using VPNs, shared adult counts, or new apps with weak moderation. Gupta says that shifts harm rather than reducing it. See, so basically they're going to get they're going to get around this. If you just ban it just like this, well, they're going to be able to get on their parents' computer, okay, or there's certain apps that are weak security wise, or they're going to use a VPN. So you see how they're setting up the stage to where, hey, the only way to really adopt this worldwide or adopt this, a full spectrum, it's going to go into. They're going to say, hey, really the only way is to, the only way really is to do biometrics. And now have all these tech companies adopt this technology. So now if you want to use the app or you want to, whatever it may be via online, you have to program this into, you have to program age verification through biometrics. Okay, this is the system that we're coming into, man. Okay. All right, then it goes into why a ban may backfire. But I'm trying to find, okay, I guess I skipped it. Okay, but that's fine. All right, so then I typed in, what did I type in? Underage social media ban, and then I typed in biometrics, right? And this is from the AI overview. It says underage social media bans are being implemented through strict state mandated age verification laws. Often requiring government issue IDs or biometric scans, for access. Now remember YouTube last year, they brought this to surface and basically said it's implemented already, but it's not like they're not going heavy handed. The AI is being used to detect if you're a child or not, however the algorithm is or not. And if the AI believes that you are underage, they'll request a age verification in which you have to add your ID to your account to be able to be verified. So it's already being implemented in the United States, but it has not been widely adopted. But we're moving towards, that reality where these technologies are going to be widely adopted. Okay. It says key regulations in the U.S. and elsewhere, such as Louisiana, Florida, and Australia, aim to ban users under 13 to 16 years old, utilizing services like Yoti for age estimation. Okay, key aspects of age verification laws. Basically, I'm reading all this to show you that we are moving towards this system of control in which, when we read Revelation 13, how this beast was able to cause everybody, okay, whether you're old, whether you're young, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether you're free, so called, or whether you're in prison, okay? All right? To basically control how you buy and sell, which is the lifeblood of any civilization. You need to buy and you need to sell, okay? This is the, and the flow of information and access to services that we had free. Like if you wanted to get in your car and drive cross country, that's somewhat free. You know, you got all your paperwork and stuff like that. It's somewhat free. But in the new system, you're gonna need to be verified, okay, and approved if you're able to go into a particular city or not. Remember COVID, they have the track and tracing, which they didn't push it hard, but there were certain places where you had to, you know, basically if you wanted to come into a particular city or town, a district, you had to, you know, basically sign papers or do some type of verification to let them know that you're coming in. What they call contact tracing. Okay, that technology is being that was part of it. That's being part of being developed for easy rollout, and they're using these other countries like India, like China, like Australia, New Zealand, okay, Europe. They're using all these and doing test runs here in America, in these different states. All right, to roll out this technology, but it looks like it's happening independently. This state is doing it, then that state is doing it, then that country's doing it, that country. The same thing with the digital ID. You had the UK say that this is what they're doing. In order to work in the UK, you have to have a digital ID, and that's going to protect jobs. That's going to stop the bad criminals, the immigration and fraud and all that. You know, that's going to do all that, right? And then you had another country do it, and then this country's doing. Like, why are they all doing it? What? Because it's the same system, man. It's the same wicked elite that are rolling out their NWO. That's what it's about. But they have to make sure that you are digitally in prison. So no, they don't have to send, a whole police task force or the marshals to come grab you up or to stop you from doing anything. All they have to do is just digitally cut you off from the system. It's that simple. It's that easy, right? Verification methods. Laws in states like Mississippi and Utah require commercial, reasonable effort to verify age. So on and so forth. I'm done with that. Right here. Privacy concerns. The use of IDs and biometric data has raised significant privacy concerns, with critics arguing it leads to privacy invasion practices for all users and potential security risks regarding data storage. Now, when they do, all right, let me type this, cyber pandemic. When they do the cyber pandemic, all that is thrown out of the window, okay? They're able to really do whatever the hell they want to do, just like the COVID. They're able to do things that people normally would not accept, but they believe that they were in a situation, a dire situation. So they adopted these things. And you have the elite spokeswomen come out and say that they were able to do things that they would not be able to do in normal society. Okay? Let me bring out a couple of scriptures. I mean, that's pretty much it on that, but I'm gonna bring out a couple of scriptures, but before that, let me read about cyber pandemic. Okay? And again, you can type these things up. All right? You can type these things up and you can see for yourself that this is what's going on. I'm gonna read this. All right, and then we're gonna get a couple of scriptures, because all this, oh wait, what about privacy concerns and people, I don't know, that when the lights go out and chaos comes, okay, and a lot of death comes, real serious SHIT, cyber attacks, when they come, that's it. Your privacy is over. They have full excuse to go ahead with the plan, man. They have full excuse now to, when you get back online, when finally everything comes back online, everything's going to be everything's going to be biometric verification. Not just age verification, it's going to be biometric verification. Okay, they're going to know who everybody that's online, what you're saying. If you say something off, AI is already listening to everything that you got to say, and they're going to either turn your shit off or they're going to come and see you. Okay, it's really almost already happening. Cyber pandemic. A cyber pandemic refers to a widespread, fast-moving outbreak. They're probably going to bring Russia or Iran, which is going to spark them to enact a draft. See, I'll open up in 2 Corinthians 2:11. See, we are not ignorant of Satan's devices, okay? And Sirach, the 39th chapter, talks about how we are occupied in prophecy. That's where our mind is at. Yeah, we have families and wives and children, and we have jobs, professions, so on and so forth. We have somewhat hobbies. We'll go to the gym, go on a run, do particular, hustle, do particular things, right? But our main concern is, tying everything that's going on in this world to what the scriptures say, and let you know the time that we're in, okay, and giving you warning from the Most High. And IUIC, they don't want to get right. I seen the video. I didn't get to watch the video yet. I watched a little bit of Apostle Ryan Live, which responded to Apostle Tahar about Nate, Sneaky Nate, and how he's starting to kind of trying to spin that web and trying to throw the MOTB in there, the C-hip. They might throw a microchip in there because the evidence is literally overwhelming. I mean, it's just like, you can't even argue it at this point. You are willfully ignorant at this point, okay? Or you just plainly blinded, okay? It says, a cyber pandemic refers to a widespread, fast-moving outbreak of cyber attacks that affect multiple industries and regions simultaneously, potentially disrupting critical infrastructure and business operations. It says the term gained prominence. All right, it gained prominence after the World Economic Forum. You keep that keeps moving. That name keeps being thrown around, right? Warned that such an event could be the next major global crisis. See, this can be the next world global crisis. See, we told you, man. We're prophets. Just like they told the world that a pandemic can happen, and then it happened. Okay, so this is pretty much like a cyber pandemic. All right, warned that such an event could be the next major global crisis, with cybercrime costs projected to reach 10 trillion by 2025. The shift to remote work during the COVID-19 pandemic created a new vulnerability that hackers exploited, leading to a significant increase in attack frequencies and sophistication. So basically, it's crazy. Like you can't blame one thing. It's all organic. We had to shut down the economy, and now that we shut down the economy, that gave people more ability to do cyber attacks. So now that's the next boogeyman. Okay, that's the next boogeyman. But when it happens, it's gonna take the world by surprise. And regardless if you know about the Elise plan or not, that doesn't matter. They don't care about that. They'll gladly tell you about it. They tell you about it all the time. You're still not going to be able to do nothing against it. You're still subject. Okay. The only thing is with the elect. Okay. The elect are going to be delivered in that time, and that's going to be the time of Jacob's trouble, which we're in Jacob's trouble, but it's going to turn up. We're already in the time of the end. We're already in the days of sorrow, but we're not at the full height of these things. Remember, the Most High, he does things gradually. But now that the baby is about to be born, okay, what happens? The contractions come. They're shorter in distance and they're more intense. Okay, so let me get Job. Let me get Job 5. Okay, bear with me. All right, this is Job 5:12. It says, "He disappointeth the devices of the crafty. And this is nothing other than a crafty plan. This is a long, thought out, drawn plan that they've been practicing on since the inception of the illuminated ones. They've been working and working and working. Satan's been giving them, the inspiration, really through the Most High. Those demons that give them that work on their mind, that give them this technology, that give them the technology of AI, because they say, well, AI, it actually learns, and it's actually able to come to particular thought processes, if you will. You ask it a question, but they do that. They have the code and stuff like that, but then they say, really, we don't know actually how AI actually comes out with the actual answer. One of I think it was the AI, the godfather of AI, he calls it a miracle, or one of these guys, they call it a miracle. Like, we don't really actually know how it actually comes to that answer. Because and that's why they say it has a mind of its own. Some people call it a demon, which it is a demon. It's godlike power on the left-hand side. That's all that it is. It's witchcraft. Okay, yeah, can it give you some information? Yeah, ultimately, yes. Okay. But it's being heralded or being pushed as a technology that's going to save you. When there's several studies that are out there saying that people that use AI is actually making them more stupid, because you're pretty much, handing over the process of thinking to another to technology, to the artificial intelligence, and ultimately, they want you to get used to that because they want to put that technology inside you. Intel, Apostle Ranallah broke it down. In meaning in, and tell me in intelligence, or in meaning poor, and their intelligence. Okay, or how did he break it down? Intelligence means their I forget. I have to come back on that. But the apostle broke it down. Intel, basically, intel. To put intel inside you, okay? Like the Most High pours his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in us, via the Holy Spirit. Esau Edom wants to put his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in you via RFID microchip. Now, that's it. That's the breakdown. And everything is leading to that. Job 5:12, he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. So yeah, we bring out the different things that the elite have in plan and what they have done and what they're doing. Okay, and then their ultimate goal. But we're here to say, no, it ain't gonna work. Okay, ultimately it's gonna fail. The plan is stupid. Furthermore, it was written that it will fail. Okay, out of the mouth of Yahweh Bashem Shai. Okay. He taketh the wise, that's Esau. Thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that can hide from thee. Ezekiel 28:3. Okay. By thy wisdom, thou hast gotten thee riches. The scriptures call him a prudent man. He's wise to do evil. The heart of everyone, the mind or the heart of everyone is deep. He's wise, right? But the knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. I forget exactly how it's worded, but all that knowledge that you have to deceive people, he actually studies people, sociology, psychology, studies the mind. Okay, all these different psychologies. He studies the cells. He studies, biology, chemistry. He doesn't study it to, well, he studies it to know, but he studies it to weaponize it. Weaponize this information against you. He studied the diet. He knows everything that the body needs to function. He can really heal almost any disease, but he hides that technology. He hides that information from you. So he'll demonize the herbs. He'll demonize the ancient therapies that actually work. And then you have his technology that can, speed particular things up. There's certain things that you can do, but ultimately it all destroys you. We're going back to the old path, the old way. Right? He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. They meet with darkness. Meaning when they meet, it's nothing but evil and wickedness. Okay, they're not meeting to, oh yeah, how can we solve hunger, world hunger? That's an easy fucking thing. That's an easy thing. All right. Homelessness, that's easy. That's a simple task. But it actually requires, for him, it's a hard task because it actually requires for a society to be, or starting with the leadership to be righteous. That's how your society prospers. Because ultimately, who blesses a society and who curses it? The Most High. Okay, even if you know the highest husbandry, and you're very great in planting, and you know all the secrets of doing, how to even bad soil, how to make it better. It's really if the Most High wants to increase. So it's not really up to man if something grows or not. So in order for your society to be blessed, the Most High has to be with it to bless it. Now America was blessed, but it was blessed by Satan. Okay. So now the consequences of bowing down to Satan, now you people are feeling those consequences, and the Edomite is bugging out. Do we feel sorry for you? Absolutely not. The scriptures speak about Deuteronomy 30:7, how the curses are going to be put on our enemies. Also, Baruch the 4th chapter talks about miserable are thy cities. Okay, so these cities are potholes everywhere. Okay, violent crime, breaking and entering. Okay, you being taxed to goddamn death. Okay, job losses, chemtrails. They got. I'm here in Memphis. The chemtrails every goddamn where. Okay, the cloud seeding. Okay, you park in a wrong spot for 2 seconds. This goddamn a parking enforcement giving you a ticket, $50 ticket. Like goddamn, I just went in and grabbed a water. They don't. So it's nothing but hell, man. Okay. They meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope in the noonday as in the night. Okay, meaning their plans are failing. What does the scripture say? Stand now with thy enchantments, because the grope in the noonday, like when the sun is out, you're groping like in the night, like when the light is turned off and you're trying to feel around and see, turn the light on and try to feel out where you're at. That's really Esau in the daytime. Esau is really being controlled. He doesn't really know what's going on. Okay, if he knew what was going on, he would put a chain on his neck and come down and bow before us. All these nations would. But we know that their heart is hardened. But he saveth the poor from the sword. Who's the sword? Okay. Deliver me from the sword, deliver me from the wicked, which is thy sword. What is that? Psalms 13 and 17. Okay. Or is it 17 and 13? I'll get that mixed up. I think it's Psalm 13, 17. Okay. Deliver me from the wicked, which is thy sword. Okay. Arise, O Lord, disappoint me. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him. Deliver me from the wicked, which is thy sword. So Esau is the sword. So the Lord is going to save the poor, which is the Israelites, the elect of the nation Israelites, from the sword. You wicked Israelites here in America, you're going to be slayed by the sword. Okay, that's part of the four kinds. Was that Jeremiah the 15th chapter, the sword to slay. Okay, the beast to tear. All right, but he saved the poor from the sword and from their mouth and from the hand of the mighty. Esau's the mighty. So the poor has hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. So, yeah, he's going to go ahead with the plan that's written. He's going to cause major chaos in the earth. That's written. He's going to have these shipping stations. That's written. He's going to have, pretty much everything on lock. Prison planet. That's written. Nevertheless, the Most High is going to be there with the elect of the nation of Israel to deliver them in these wicked, demonic times. So go ahead, or like the scriptures say, stand now with thy enchantments. Like these different social media bans for young children, which that's nothing but a Trojan horse to bring in digital IDs, biometrics. Okay, full surface across all the whole internet. okay, across all borders. Number one, he wants a new world order, which there's one world, is one government governing the whole world. All right, so I pray that the lesson was edifying. All right, until next time, shalom to the elect.